Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies from There's New Bully. My host Leroy, aka Throw Out Those Leftovers, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka McFly.
McFly. Yeah, we're back with another episode, and hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Hopefully had a good Black Friday. Hopefully had a what do you call it? Green Saturday, I guess.
I never heard of that one.
I might have made that up. I don't know. I may have heard.
Is that where you got high? Did you just smoke?
Maybe that's why I don't do it anymore. Maybe because I come with these crazy ideas, you know. Oh, and happy Cyber Monday to everybody, because apparently Black Friday is dead. All hail Cyber Monday. This is the new Lord and Savior for us. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see what we got here. We got Vic coming in hot.
Oh,
we got Jake coming in hot. Jakey Poo, what's going on? So everybody's coming in hot. We got the usual suspects here. Chime in, everybody. Let us know what you had for Thanksgiving dinner. Even though I know we all had the same thing. Except Eli, there's one thing. Since some of our family members are getting older, we had some cousins that decided to cook this year. So I don't trust their cooking. I know my aunts, I eat their food, but my cousins, I don't know theirs. So now they're serving pie, and I don't know if it's sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie. I don't know what the fuck they're on, so I'm like scared to eat it. You know, sorry, black people don't do pumpkin pie.
Like me, I had both.
Black people don't do pumpkin pie. We don't. Sweet potato pie. That's what we got. I will eat pumpkin pie in certain settings. That being said, let's just jump into it. Like I said, we got actually a meaty show. We're just going to jump into it. Hopefully, everybody got a chance to see what we're about to talk about, because we're going to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy special, holiday special, came out this week. And we're just going to just talk about, like I said, this is one of the last things James Gunn is going to do for Marvel before he packs everything up and just goes over to DC, because that is on the board. Matter of fact, people are mad at him for promoting this, even though he's with DC. You know, what's wrong with pie, Eli? No, nothing's wrong with pie. It's just, if you're going to serve me pumpkin pie, don't tell me a sweet potato pie. I need to know what kind of pie I'm eating before I eat the pie. Otherwise, it's going to be messed up. You know,
same thing.
American pie is Thanksgiving. That's just apple pie. Apple pie is apple pie, you know. Because with sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie, you can't tell that they look the same, but they're different.
Pretty much. They're pretty much the same thing. Pretty much.
Kinda. Not really.
Kinda, sorta.
Sorta. Yeah. I'm just saying, don't fool me. That's all I'm saying. All right. Anyway, let's talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. It was very interesting. It wasn't very long. This was a special, not a movie. It's about as long as a CW episode. It's like 44 minutes. Get in, get out. You know, you can just watch it and that's it, like that. All the Guardians were there except for Gamora, because Gamora.
So I had a question. What the timeline was? When did this take place? Was this after the snap?
This is after Love and Thunder.
After Love and Thunder. So where the fuck was Gamora?
Right. Remember, she left to go find herself. Because remember, it's not their Gamora, it's 2014 Gamora.
Yeah, I know. Did she? I thought she. I couldn't remember if was she with them or did she take off? I can't remember. So.
She took off. Yeah. So she took off and they can't find her.
Okay.
So they're still looking for her and they can't find her. And the reason they can't find her is why Peter Quill is depressed, which is part of the plot of this whole show.
Mm-hmm.
And they even threw them some quick dialogue, is that they're on Nowhere right now, and they bought Nowhere. And they said they bought it from the Collector. So apparently the Collector is not dead. We thought Thanos killed him. Apparently he's still alive. He just sold them Nowhere and just left. So Cosmo was on Nowhere. He actually got free because of one of the things that got destroyed. So Cosmo is just there. So then they explain why Cosmo part of the team. He's just part of the team. He's in the comics. He runs Nowhere. Go with it. Just move. That's the thing. Plus, we can tell how the timeline just by looking at Groot. Like I said,
Groot he was older.
He was older. Like, and people like, why did he look like the old Groot from the first one? Because it's not the same Groot. I keep telling you, the first Groot died. He's dead. This is his son. Like, he asexually reproduced before he checked out. So, this whole time, Rocket and the Guardians have been raising his son, which is why he has a completely different personality, completely different look, because he's not the same Groot. So hopefully that's taken care of. And this whole thing is really about Mantis. Mantis is the star of this thing, which we really haven't. She's like the most underutilized Guardian we've had so far, because like I said, she came in late. She's kind of like a background player, but this one, the whole focus is about her, so we get to find out her personality.
And I didn't know she could whoop ass like that.
Well, here's the thing, and it's funny because in the comics, she is like maybe one of, if not the best martial artist in comics.
Well, we never seen her in that. We never seen that in the movie. Like
we never seen it in the Marvel. Never happened in the movie.
She just kind of just sits back in the background.
Yeah, but in the comics, she whooped both Captain America's and Black Panther's ass on separate comic before, and like easily, like like they were nothing with her, you know. So because she's Vietnamese, of course she, and it's the 70s. So, but that's the thing. So yeah, so we never seen her whoop ass before. We never seen her get angry with anybody before, because a couple times she was just like, I can't put up with your shit, Drax. Like Drax was just getting on the nerves, and she was just yelling at him. I was like, well, damn, like nobody did that to Drax before. She's the first person to do that, you know. So that was pretty cool. And the big bombshell, spoiler for everybody, haven't paid attention, the big bombshell, she's Star-Lord's sister. Now, a lot of people think that this is some kind of like retcon that just came out of nowhere, and they just like doing some Luke and Leia shit where, well, I'm gonna just write some shit before I get the fuck up out of here. I beg to differ, Eli, because I'm going to pull up receipts.
Oh shit.
I called this back in 2018. Yes, that far back, 4 years ago, I called it back then. Because James Gunn dropped enough hints on there that it wasn't like out of nowhere and just shock. It was like it was there. It's just like if you just, it basically just like, I'm giving you the breadcrumbs the whole time. Since you're not catching it, I'm gonna just tell you what it is. For instance, let's go back to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Let's look at this scene. Enhance. Let's move in. Okay. Oh, look at the technology. Okay. So in that scene, this is a brief scene that happened in there. That's where you see Star-Lord. Ego was like, you know, having sex with like a million chicks all over the universe, shit like that. And one of them looked exactly like, you know, Mantis' mom. You know, where's that scene? I think it's right here. I don't have it. I had the scene, but anyway. Yeah, so that's what's going. Oh, here we go. That's the scene. Boom. So that's the chick. So that was the chick that was in that scene right there. Her scene got cut, but that's Mantis' mom right there. So like I said, Ego being Ego, pulling baddies left and right all over the universe. That's what he did. So yeah. So all the clues were right there. It's just James going to find this side to say, hey, that's a sister. And that kind of propels the storyline because it's a Christmas story. It's not about the universe ending or shit like that. She just wants to get a present for her brother. Boom. Something simple. So I thought that was pretty cool. Of course, you got James Gunn wicked humor in there where it's all about, you know, home invasion, burglary, human trafficking, shit like that in a Christmas movie. And Eli left out, but don't worry, Jake. Eli will come back. I'm gonna keep talking. Matter of fact, get my shit out while he's there. Is there X-rated version? No, this is just Christmas. Matter of fact, this is very, very PG. Let's jump back in here. Eli, how you looking? You there?
Yeah.
Is that yeah? You jumped out, but you're back in now.
Yeah, I got kicked out for some reason.
It's weird. I didn't kick you. I didn't boot you. Jake missed you. But no, there's no X-rated version. This is very PG, but it's like 80s PG, if that makes any sense. Because like just weird, wacky shit just happened all the time, stuff like that. Also, some other crazy things that happen in this. We find out that the GoBots are canon. You know, and not just like the toys are canon. No, like the characters are canon. Apparently, one of them killed Drax's cousin, you know, stuff like that. So I thought they was really weird. And for those who don't know what the GoBots are, for 80s kids, the kids grew up in the 80s, the GoBots are basically what your mom gets if the Transformers were too expensive or sold out. She got your GoBots. So that was,
and I believe the GoBots predated the Transformers by like a few months. But then Transformers came out like, whoa, fuck these GoBot things.
Yeah. Right. It's like GoBots was like the Wish version, the
dollar store Transformers.
Dollar store, tree, Kmart version. That's what GoBots was. It was just like if your mom got you GoBots, she didn't love you. That's basically what it was, you know. So it's all about Transformers. But I'm thinking that did James Gunn do that because he couldn't get a hold of, you know, Rom Space Knight? Because that was also a toy company back in the Marvel that Marvel was doing comics for back in the day. And the funny thing about Rom Space Knight is that they lost the rights to Rom, but all the other stuff they put in there, they kept, like the Space Knights, that's still in there. The Dire Wraiths, who like Rom's bad guys, stuff like that. All those guys are still in Marvel.
And it's funny because Transformers started out as a Marvel comic.
There you go. Transformers started out as a Marvel comic. They did the toys first, and then the comics came, and then the cartoons came based on the comics, the Marvel comics. That's where it came from. And the weird thing about the Transformers comics is that they were actually in continuity, in canon with Marvel comics. Like other Marvel heroes, like the Avengers, Spider-Man, would reference shit they did. So Marvel was a weird time back in the 80s. They just did whatever. So it wasn't like it was a separate continuity. It was all together. Anybody could show up at any time. So, and I'm thinking did James Gunn do that as a rep because he couldn't get his hands on Rom or Transformers. And he said he talked to the owners of GoBots, and he said they were cool with it. So I thought that's pretty cool. Yeah. Also, the main thing we need to talk about is that this whole holiday special, Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, is a homage to everybody's favorite holiday special, Star Wars. Because there's so many references in here. First off, people don't know the Star Wars holiday special. It's because George Lucas hated so much he basically tracked every copy down he could and destroyed it with a sledgehammer. But the thing was, it was like a variety show. So it had a lot of things going on. You had animation, you had like singing, dancing, you had skits, you had comedy, stuff like, attempts at comedy, and the actors forced to be there, all that stuff there. So Guardians of the Galaxy was the same way. It opened up with an animation sequence. James Gunn said he did it on purpose, to kind of like mirror Star Wars. It opened up with a song, like this big holiday number song. And I thought the song was awesome. They've been talking about how stupid Santa is, and when you think about Santa's tradition,
song, not the Star Wars song,
not Donna Summers doing that weird sexual song in Star Wars.
Yeah, because the Star Wars holiday special is a pile of shit.
It is a pile of shit, but it's a nostalgic pile of shit. It's like it's your rite of passage to be a Star Wars fan to watch that. That's all I'm saying.
Only once. Watch it
only once. You're right.
Yeah, it is pretty painful.
It is pretty painful because you watch, you're just like, what the fuck am I watching? Obviously, they was on every drug known to man when they made that shit. But if you was there,
I think everybody was. I'm sure Carrie Fisher and the whole cast was high.
Oh yeah, high as it. They had to be. That's the only way they can get in there. I'll pay you in drugs.
Anyway. What's funny is it's the official sequel. It's the first sequels. It's the first Star Wars sequel. It's the first thing they did after the original Star Wars movie because it predates Empire.
So think about George Lucas. He made the prequel, stood by that. But the Star Wars special was the thing. He was like, no, I'm putting my foot down. Nobody will ever see this. So that's the one thing he said that will not get made. So yeah. What are we also talking about? Just like I said, the comedy scenes, the singing in there. I love the song. Everybody need to go replay that song, listen to the lyrics, because the stuff they said about Santa was hilarious and true. That's the crazy thing about it. And the whole thing.
I was really disappointed when Kevin Bacon picked up the guitar and he didn't play Footloose.
They might have had the rights. I don't think they had the rights for it.
I was like, oh man, is he gonna play Footloose? Oh shit! I was like, oh man, he's playing a Christmas song. Okay,
but isn't he like a singer for real? Like he had his own band or something?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, so I think somebody told me that he has a band with his brother, something like that. So yeah, what do we got here?
The Bacon Boys.
Kick-ass soundtrack. I gotta do the soundtrack. James Gunn released a soundtrack on Spotify. James Gunn has his own profile on Spotify where he just dropped playlists. It's like the guy is a music head. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's always got the deep cuts, the Pogues and shit, and
yeah. So I thought it was pretty awesome. And plus, James Gunn being James Gunn, there's all kind of Christmas songs spread out all through the song. Mm-hmm. Like I think when they were chasing Kevin Bacon, I think the name of the song was like "I Want an Alien for Christmas" or something like that. With basically what Mantis was trying to do, catch an alien for Christmas, because that's what Kevin Bacon is to her. The Kevin Bacon show is Bacon. Not in this movie. I'm pretty sure if you Google hard enough.
This is Disney, yo. What do you expect?
This is Disney, yeah. But like I said, the internet is a wild and wonderful place. I'm pretty sure it's out there if you even look kind of hard for it, But I did like that Kevin Bacon was the MacGuffin of the thing. Like the whole thing revolved around Kevin Bacon. And he was great. It looked like he had fun doing it, just doing it. So I like that. Like I said, it was just a fun thing. It's just heart, sweet, sugary, all the stuff people say they hate about Marvel, stuff like that. It's what I like. It's Christmas. It's a Christmas show. So it's not supposed to be, blood and titties all over, stuff like that. It is a Christmas show. That's what it is.
Well, that's not Disney. And that's the thing. Is like, this was cute. This was fun and cute. You're right. It was fun and cute. Mm-hmm. It is weird seeing, after watching Peacemaker and then seeing Disney muzzled James Gunn again. Put the shackles on James Gunn. Okay, keep it PG.
Right.
But no, it was fun and cute. Yeah, it was. I had a good time. I laughed. There was some heartwarming moments. Yeah, especially when Star-Lord comes out and sees the whole town all Christmassy and shit.
Right.
Like, that was pretty nice. And then realizing they had Kevin Bacon in a box.
You're like, y'all got a body in here? Let me go.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I had a good time, for the
Yeah,
45
even
minutes
like
it was.
simple
Yeah,
stuff like Craig and telling Kevin Bacon, like your movies inspire him to do great things, which is what movies is all
yeah,
about,
yeah,
so
pretty much.
I like that. Oh, at the end when Mantis finally told her solid sister, and he's like all the stuff that Mantis did, just her telling him that, he was like, no, that is the greatest gift, that I have another blood family member out there. So
And that's the thing that
yeah.
James Gunn has always done very well is get to
Mhm.
the heart, get to the
Yeah,
emotional
he
weight
grounds the
of
characters,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, these misfits characters that find solace in each other, and that's what it's pretty much the theme of all of his movies. There's always a little emotional heart, to every story he makes, and that was there here in tenfold though, because it was Disney.
Right.
It was super super sweet, super sugary. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
lost
I
my
mean,
train
like I
of thought.
say, it's a family thing. If your family is around there, this is something to watch. If
Yeah,
this was back in the '80s, it would be one of those things that would play on network TV every year, without just like the Charlie Brown things like that. It would be one of those things.
yeah,
But now we live in the streaming area. We'll pretty much forget about this a week from now. But that's okay. Yeah.
yeah. That's what it
So
was, and it was cute. Yeah,
yeah, like I said,
cute and
getting
fluffy.
cute and fluffy. But what you expect? It's a Disney Christmas show. It's
Yeah,
exactly what you expect from a Disney Christmas show. You know.
yeah.
So I'm gonna slap a rating on it. I'm gonna give it a rating 4 out of 5. Like I said, get in, get out. It hit the spot where I need to hit it, and I was good. I was entertained.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll back that. Yeah, 4 out of 5. Rocket got Winter Soldier's arm, which was funny as hell.
Yeah. People are mad about that,
Yeah.
because why not? People are mad about everything. Like how can Nebula beat a Winter Soldier? This is woke propaganda. He's like, wait, what? She's a fucking cyborg alien.
I thought it was fun. Is like even though they were dropping like Love and Thunder, there was it was jokes every 30 seconds. Some of them
Yeah.
hit, some of them didn't. But it was still funny when when they open up when Star-Lord opens up the box, his present, which is Kevin Bacon, and Kevin Bacon freaks out and starts running away. Nebula pulls out her gun.
Don't run from me, Kevin Bacon. Oh, that shit had me laughing.
She was about to. She was like, did she just pull her fucking strap? That made me laugh. That made me laugh.
Whisper said, he like, please don't kill Kevin Bacon. You cannot run me. Yeah, just simple shit like that, man. I was laughing when I saw this. So yeah. So I'm excited for it, but now this show made me fall in love with Nebula. So I'm gonna be super fucking pissed if they kill her in the next movie. Hopefully they don't do that. So yeah. Yeah. All right. That's all I gotta say about Guardians. We can move on to the next part. Like I said, Eli, you saw a show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw a show.
I've been hearing good things. So
it was good. It was good. Long, maybe a little too long, but still good. It's very meaty. It was very meaty. A lot of things to say. This is not your. So yes, okay. I watched Andor. It's pretty much the only show that I kept up with this past month. I with the move and all the other shit that was going on, I fell off of all the shit that I was watching. I haven't watched all of Chucky, which I hear is awesome. I haven't watched. I never watched all the Lord of the Rings show. I fell behind on every. I haven't watched Atlanta yet. Yeah, I missed that in the last season of Atlanta. I haven't watched shit. But this is the only thing that I kind of kept up with. And it was good. It was really good. It's different. Different as in this is not your run-of-the-mill Star Wars show. There's not a lot of action going on. This isn't lightsabers and starships and space battles.
But is it hour-long Senate meetings?
It's kinda. Yes. It's more like I don't want to say James Bond because James Bond has giant set pieces. It's more of a slow burn.
Bourne?
Tension,
Jason Bourne?
More of a thrill. It's like a conspiracy thriller or a political thriller, espionage, a spy movie.
Jack Ryan. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. About every couple episodes, then you'd see it would always build up to a big giant something, every few episodes. So it's almost like there was 12 episodes, 12 hour-long episodes, 45-minute to an hour episodes. And about every third episode would be the big finale. So this was almost like 3 movies. It was almost like a trilogy of movies, you know, when you think about it.
So it was like 3 story arcs, you mean?
Yes, like the first 4 was all about, you know, we introduced Cassian Andor. He was from Rogue One. He was one of the rebel agents that, you know, in Rogue One. And this is about him joining the rebellion. And we see him starting off as like just this knucklehead, just this thug outlaw doing dirt on these, you know, outlaw planets, you know, selling illegal, you know, tech, you know, running from the Empire, and he gets hired to do a heist. So that's like the first story arc, and it turns out that, you know, it's the rebels robbing like an Imperial outpost, you know, the payroll, you know. So that's like the first story arc. It's all about the robbery, you know. And then the second arc is he ends up going to jail. So then he's in jail for like the next 3 or 4 episodes and shit, you know, and then he escapes. And then the last, you know, the last 4 episodes are then about him trying to, you know, the aftermath of him trying to escape and trying to reconnect with the people he left behind. Most notably his mother, or the woman who raised him, you know, because he was an orphan. It's revealed. It goes through his life story. He was orphaned as a young age, him and his sister. He's been looking for his sister ever since they were kids. And he was like raised by this family, and who were sort of, you know, poor, you know, from a poor planet, and they always went, and his dad ended up getting killed by stormtroopers. So that sort of set the tone of his, you know, hatred for the Empire, you know. So and at the end, his mom, the one who raised him, ends up dying, you know, and she was a part of this, like this revolutionary, you know, anti-government, anti-empire group, you know, a subversive group on this planet. So they have a funeral for her, and the finale was about her funeral, and then a big giant riot breaks out, you know, the you know. But so yeah, so he's on the run from the Empire. Everybody's looking for him, and they're expecting him to show up at this funeral. And that's what the finale was the tension, all the different Imperial agents looking for him, you know, the rebels that he had joined, his friends that he left behind. He's laying low, and it all culminates on this funeral procession. And the Empire's there to stop it. They try to stop it, and that's when the riot breaks out. But his mother, you know, she's like leaving this eulogy. She's this really moving speech about, you know, rebellion and standing up against fascism. And that's what the whole story was about. The whole show was about how fascism creeps into society, how laws are being passed and people are slowly losing their rights, you know. So it's an examination on fascism, how a state become a totalitarian fascist state, and then the people who try to resist it, you know. And I think the standout for me for the show was Mon Mothma. You know,
yeah, I keep hearing about her.
Yeah, she stole the show for me. What she was doing, she's a senator, and she's like an AOC. She's kind of a nuisance. The rest of the senators think she's like, you know, the liberal, bleeding heart liberal, kind of, you know, getting on everybody's nerves about all these lost causes, wanting to do the handouts, but she's secretly funding the rebellion. And she's doing it under this big brother watchful eye of this authoritarian regime. So watching her sort of, you know, pull the strings and plot and scheme was what sold the show for me. You know, so in that case, it is more about the drama and the tension, because she didn't get to shoot any guns or anything. It was all about the drama. So that's where what sold it for me was her story arc. And she's her husband, you know, and her daughter. They love their privilege. They love the rich upper class lifestyle that they have of being like these politicians. Her daughter loves her. She's a spoiled brat who loves her privilege, you know. And so you can see that she can't even trust her family, but she's secretly trying to fund the rebellion, you know. And so there's that subplot going on. That was the more interesting story for me. And then Andor, he's like, he doesn't want to join. He's just like, he starts out being a thug. He's just an outlaw, all out for himself. And when he does that heist, when they rob this payroll, this Imperial outpost, he tries to go back to that planet and get his mom. And like, hey, I just got all this money. Let's go. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go live in luxury the rest of our lives. And she's like, no, I'm not leaving. I just heard a bunch of radicals rob the Empire. And he's like, I'm not going anywhere. Finally, somebody's standing up to these assholes. And she wouldn't go with them because she remembers how her dad how his father was killed. He was killed by the stormtroopers and shit, for standing up to them. Like, she's always hated the Empire, the fascism of the Empire. So here she is. She's this old lady now. And she's like, no, I'm not leaving here. I'm not leaving. People are starting to fight again. It sort of lit the spark. And it's ironic that she doesn't know that he was part of the robbery,
Right.
So
he's not a part of it, just out for himself.
Yeah, like he inspired her, the resistance inspired her, so he ends up leaving. And while he gets thrown in jail, he's in this work prison where they're putting together, they're making parts. And it turns out it is confirmed at the end in the after credits scene that what they were building were parts for the Death Star. So Andor was building parts to the weapon that he dies from.
Wow.
So another sense of irony there. So he ends up escaping, and he goes back to try and rescue his friends on that planet, but then he hears about his mom dying. And of course, the Empire, who's been looking for him, they're like, well, he's going to definitely show up, for his mom's funeral. So that whole scene was just full of tension. And that's what this show is more about, tension. It was, and then all of a sudden a big action sequence would happen. It was all about the buildup, so and I think that's probably the divisiveness of the show. I've heard people say this is the most boring, blah 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 blah.
Because you got to pay attention.
Yeah. But it was more about the buildup. I think it did get renewed for a second season because they also left a lot of things open. We don't know where sister is. Luthen, the guy who recruits Andor, he's like an art dealer or this like antique dealer. He's collecting all these artifacts, like, from the galaxy, but he's secretly funding the rebellion and dealing with all these, these militant groups and stuff, and he was actually, and that's another thing. This shows the ruthlessness of the rebellion, of how they were trying to keep everything hush hush, and they were ready. Like Luthen was ready to kill Andor because he was becoming a loose cannon. But at the end, he shows up and he's like, "You're gonna kill me, kill me." And then Luthen kind of just smiles, like, "You know what? We could use someone like you." Did the big baddie? No, there was no cameos in the show, so don't expect Vader or Palpatine or Solo or any of no or Kira. The only one who showed up was what's his face? Forrest Whitaker. What's the guy's name again?
Oh,
that guy.
Gunther. Yeah, I know you're talking about Gus. Yeah, that guy.
Saw Gerrera. That's he.
That guy,
he's
yeah.
He was on he originated on the Clone Wars, and then he was in Rogue One. He's the only character that kind of shows up, and Mon Mothma, out of the legacy characters that are on the show. The rest,
and she was in Rogue One also. So
yeah, she was in Rogue One. She was in Revenge of the Sith. She had a bit cameo. It's the same actress in Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, it's all about the build-up and the tension. I do feel there was a couple episodes that were just filler, that were just, okay, we're just killing time. That were lulls. And it's like, okay, they could have, this didn't need to be 12 episodes.
That's what I'm saying. Because anytime you do 12 episodes, you're going to get filler. I mean,
yeah. There was a few episodes where I was like, I was starting to doze, and not to say that it was bad. It's just like, you're just filling in, you're just killing time. And that's the thing when you know the outcome, when you're trying to stretch drama about a story, how it ends, from a writing standpoint, it's unnecessary. You know what I mean? You're trying to build suspense for something you already know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And that's what happens when you make prequels.
Which is why you really can't spoil it, because Andor lives. Okay, yeah, we can't.
Yeah, of course. He's he's gonna live. We know how Saw Gerrera dies. We know Mon Mothma is gonna make it to Return of the Jedi. But they don't. There has been all these theories of like that Luthen, the guy who recruits Andor, like he might have been a Jedi or he might have been somebody during the Clone Wars. They never revealed it, and that's the thing. They left all these plots open, and it's like for 12 episodes, you couldn't like tell us any of that shit.
Well, maybe none of that shit is true. You know, the internet is going to internet.
Yeah, So overall, I enjoyed it. It was a different feel. It's like the most dramatic Star Wars, that we've ever got. I think it's what George Lucas wanted to do with the prequels and Phantom Menace, the whole political side. This gets really into the whole political side of the galaxy and how the Empire works. And how the 1/8, I can't remember her name, but she's like the one who takes charge and starts, investigating Andor and all the shit she has to go through as a woman in the Imperial fleet or whatever, because they don't take her seriously. And she's got to manipulate her way to the top and becomes like the head of the what's it called? The ISB, the Imperial Security Bureau. It's like Big Brother,
Okay.
And that's the thing is you see how like after they rob the Imperial outpost, like the Empire goes on lockdown. It's just like right after 9/11, where the Homeland Security and Code Orange or whatever is like, everybody was they started putting the lockdown on everything. We're gonna like squash these terrorists and get to the it reminded me of that. It reminded me of like stuff that went on, like some of the imagery, especially during the riots in the finale, reminded me of stuff going on today. It reminded me of like stuff that was going on in Ireland. Not that I was there, but when you hear about the Ireland War and all that stuff, stuff like that. So yeah, you can see the parallels to what is going on now in our current state of affairs. What's going on with this country? People, leaning towards fascism or whatever, you know what I mean? Or rebellion. We see that the divisiveness in the galaxy mirrors our own current times. So that's what interested me. That's what kept me going, kept the interest going. It did have some lulls, but overall, I enjoyed it. It was something different. It wasn't all flashy and blah blah blah. Dun, 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 dun. In fact, I don't think there was any of the theme songs. It was like no Star Wars music.
Which is good. Like saying Star Wars has to develop different tones.
Yeah.
So far, like all the movies have the same tone.
This was, like I said, like it reminded me of Children of Men. You remember that movie Children of Men with Clive Owen?
Yeah.
That was like, it's like that, like a dark, what's the next Star Wars? I think Mando 3 is coming out soon, like next year.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it reminded me of that, like this just dark dystopian future, it had that really gray tone, that grayish tone that it wasn't flashy and bright like that Star Wars is known for, where everything's bright and digital. This was like really rugged and gray and dirty, and it had aliens. It had all the populated of, you see stormtroopers and all the alien characters and what have you, but it's like, it's very dusty and gray and just sort of somber, so it had even when they're on Coruscant, this technological planet full of, bright lights and big city, it's still like gray and sort of dark in the shadows, So yeah, it's a different sort of Star Wars show. I can see, I understand why some people are not into it. And I get that if you're into lightsabers and duels and blowing up shit and blowing up Death Stars and space battles. Yeah, this is
stuff Star Wars is known for.
Yeah,
right,
but I think, for those of us who are maybe, it is different. It is different, I enjoyed it for the most part. There was a few episodes that I thought was unnecessary. I think they could have stretched it, maybe did 10 or even 8, you know. But
get to the point, right?
But yeah, it was cool. Overall, I had a good time, you know. So
Nice. Okay. All right.
4 out of 5.
So 4 out of 5. Okay. Just so yeah, like I said, we're gonna go from sucking Disney's dick to talking about another director that's shitting on Disney.
Oh, we're talking about this?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I said we're gonna talk about it.
Did you? Oh, okay. You did?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Okay, so for those that don't know what's going on, like I said, another Hollywood director, he came out and said Marvel sucks. Bottom line, yeah.
According to the internet, basically.
According to the internet, yeah.
That's how they interpreted it.
Yeah. In other words, water is wet, you know. So like I said, so that's what's going on right now. Basically, his exact words. I didn't get it. I was asking him to listen to the podcast where he get it because I don't like.
I did listen to that podcast.
You did listen to the podcast, okay? Because I don't like to misquote anybody. Sometimes, you know, people always take stuff out of context, you know. So I want to make sure I understood what he said, but I kind of get the gist of it. Basically saying that, you know, Marvel has no movie stars, and it kind of basically the Marvelization of Hollywood is making Hollywood going away from movie stars. Basically, Marvel killed the movie stars. Stuff I said also 4 years ago. You know,
yeah.
What did we get?
That was on a podcast. We actually had that. Wasn't that a title of one of our shows?
No, it was one of our excerpts. Marvel killed the movie.
Yeah,
no, it was a title of one of our shows.
Yeah,
like Marvel 4 years ago, Marvel killed the movie star. Right.
We had a discussion on that.
Yeah, a long time ago. Like I said, right? And we weren't even talking about directors. We were just talking about Marvel.
Pre-COVID. This was pre-COVID too.
Pre-COVID, we were talking about that. So it's even worse now after COVID. So yeah, that's what's going on now. So like I said, Quentin Tarantino came out with this statement, said that on a podcast like that, and of course the internet does what it always does. So now the internet is split into two. You got this side over here. Who the fuck he think he is? What the fuck he made? He hadn't made anything. Like you don't know what Quentin Tarantino made. But then on the opposite side of that, the people that, you know, shit on Marvel anyway, just hear Quentin Tarantino mention Marvel, and they're saying, yeah, exactly. Fuck Marvel. Say that shit, Quentin Tarantino. Say exactly what everybody else is scared to say. Like, can everybody just calm down for a second, Eli? I understand that the internet is divided in extremes, ones and zeros, binary, everything's there. But can we look at this statement that he made objectively? Is it possible to do that? I think we can.
I mean, it can. I don't know if we're going to change any minds, but we can.
But I'm just saying, I think we can. Let's just look at it objectively, what he said.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
he basically said what we said. You said.
He basically said what we said like years ago, right? And other people have said what he said, which he also said that two people said we said. Anthony Mackie said the same thing, and he works for Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't really say too much different what Anthony Mackie already said. But my thing is this, that not only did Quentin Tarantino, I don't feel he said anything controversial or a statement. Honestly, I think he just mentioned Marvel's business model.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even Marvel's just like, yeah, that's what we do. Because I don't think he said anything. I think people want to take it and say it's inflammatory or he's dissing Marvel. And maybe he was. I don't know. But I don't think it was that. It's just like, this is just how Marvel runs their business, which I don't think anything's wrong with that. I'm honestly, the way Marvel's doing it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Well, yeah, it's the changing of the business. He acknowledges that he calls it the Marvelization of Hollywood, which, you know, he feels that, it's times are changing. He knows this. That's why he only says he's only want to do one more movie because, and he even said in that interview, he even says, who am I making? I don't have any movie ideas right now because who am I making a movie for? Who's the audience? The business has changed. Like, who am I making a movie for? Who's going to go see my movies? I know what people are into now. They're not into my shit. You know, so he's like, why? What am I going to do? You know, he's actually going to do a TV show. You know, because that's where Hollywood's going around. Even Scorsese, he's doing shit on TV. You know, all his movies are going to streaming services. Netflix had The Irishman. Apple's got his next movie. So they're acknowledging that Disney is changing the business and that the only movies that are being made that get all the attention, that hog up all the theaters, are Disney movies. And that's sort of
I don't agree with that, Eli. I don't agree with that. I mean,
well, that's what they said, but and I think that's and after I think it's awesome that a movie like Terrifier 2 can come out and say, fuck
that's
you
exactly what I was about to say. Right. It can come out and make money. It's not like Marvel kicked Terrifier 2 out. Terrifier 2 made his money.
Yeah. So that's what they're saying. They're acknowledging that, you know, big names, director. It used to be you'd go see a movie for the director, you go see a movie for the star, and that's changed.
No,
You know?
that's still the way. That's what I'm saying. All that is still the way. Christopher Nolan make a movie right now, put his name on it, it's still going to sell. He's got Oppenheimer, whatever. Quentin Tarantino makes a movie right now, it's going to sell. It ain't like he made a movie that flopped. He still can stack his name on a movie, and he don't have to put name actors in it. Like, look, go back to the 90s. Who did he put in his movies? Pam Grier,
Everybody.
who was way past her prime.
Yeah.
You know, Uma Thurman, look, let's be honest, she wasn't known. He was just trying to smash. That's why he kept putting in movies, you know. But it didn't matter because his name was the star. He was the star.
Yeah.
So he just put his name on it.
He was one
Jamie
of the
Foxx.
auteurs. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Where he was one of the directors where you went to saw their movies. But back, you know, Tom Cruise would sell a movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger would sell a movie. You know, where you just went and saw it because you liked them and stuff. Julia Roberts and you know we had Sandra Bullock. You know, they all
You just put that. It didn't matter what movie they were making. You just put their name on it. Boom.
You the brand, and that's what that sold their brand.
But it's still doing that. That's what I'm saying. It hasn't changed. Sandra Bullock put out a movie this year. It was #1 at the box office. I don't remember the name of it, but I know Sandra Bullock was in it.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. Like, people want to watch it because Sandra Bullock still can put butts in the seats. No, that's movie stars still exist. So as far as Marvel, yes, I agree with him on that stuff. Marvel, but Marvel does that on purpose. Hold on, let me see what Jay got. Let's see. The only movie star nowadays is Tom Cruise and The Rock. You know, I still say The Rock is on there. So those are your movie stars. But like I said, you still have people that put butts in the seats when they come out with a project people want to. Now, the problem was the Marvel actor that came out and said something to Quentin Tarantino was not the guy that should have said something to Quentin Tarantino, and that was Simu Liu. Now, if you don't know who Simu Liu is, that basically proves Quentin Tarantino's point. it's this guy.
I was about to say who? Oh,
exactly. That's the whole point. If you don't know who Simu Liu is, he plays Shang-Chi. Yes, the first superhero of Marvel to wear Jordans. That's him. So not the first. That was Batman.
And I think now, I mean, pre-COVID, I think that's what was going on. You know, you saw, like, because that's when we made the statement. We said the movie star is a dying breed. That was before COVID. You know, like even like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it came out before COVID. You know, Brad Pitt, Leo, Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Lion King kicked its ass at the
right.
Lion King made $1 billion. Nobody likes the Lion King.
Nobody liked the movie.
But they still made $1 billion and beat a movie, a cartoon Lions beat
that was worse than the original version that it came out with.
that was a remake. Beat a movie with 3 top tier movie stars. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where I think COVID changed the business now. I think it's changing, and I think that's what they're acknowledging it. You know,
but reason I'm saying it because yes, when we made that statement. I'm not saying we're better than Quentin Tarantino or anything. I'm just saying when we made that statement that the movie industry was different even then than it is now, where Disney just owned everything. Every time you turn on Disney, it was just this. Now this year, I doubt Disney's even the #1 movie franchise this year.
I hear what the fucking new Top Gun. Yeah, like what are you saying, Top
Gun killing everything Marvel has done right now. Like everybody talking about Black Panther's going to do the Black Panther. The Black Panther's not going to beat Tom Cruise. Sorry. Tom Cruise has ruined our Black Panther party. That's just what it is. You know? and I think it's like some other movies on the list too. It ain't like just Disney, Marvel. Hell, Disney had a flop this week. We didn't talk about that Strange Worlds and shit.
Oh,
that cartoon? Yeah, flopped. 18 million. It was like a $200 million budget movie. 18 million flopped. So it ain't like everything Disney does shit I go. Yes. 6 years ago, 4 years ago, that was the case. This case, not now. Now it's everybody's game. You just talking about Terrifier. It's anybody's game.
Yeah.
It's
and
not
now,
Marvel.
And now we're seeing a transition. We might be seeing a transition now.
Right.
We're seeing the pendulum swinging the other way. You know,
it's already starting. It's already starting.
Yeah.
So we can't keep using 2016 logic for 2022 or 2023 because it doesn't quite like that. Like I said, and everything he said about Simu Liu, that is correct because I ain't seen this motherfucker in anything else other than a Korean family sitcom. That's it. And he got his job over a tweet. So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm gonna go back to see Mulu in a second. I'm gonna just see this. Okay, Avatar 2 is about to go. No, it's not.
Well, yeah.
Now, if it does, I will eat a cheeseburger. I'm just saying, I doubt it. It'll get close. I think it'll get close, but $1 billion, I think we're overstating it. Now, here's the thing: I do want to go back to Simu Liu about. Now, Simu Liu did make a good point about that. That, like I said, Marvel is giving him opportunities that other Hollywood studios didn't for big budget movies, and that is true. Now, according to Quentin Tarantino, that he wants Marvel to make stars. He wants Marvels to get big Hollywood stars and be in their movies. So, okay, say Marvel goes out and get a Hollywood star for Shang-Chi in their 30s or under 30. You're not going to find one. I mean, yeah, you can find some Chinese, Taiwan guy that can't speak English or halfway speak English and stuff like that. But as far as an American to appeal to American audience, you're not going to find one. You got to build one from scratch. So, and that's why it took 30 fucking years to make a Shang-Chi movie or to make a Black Panther movie or to make a Black Widow movie, because nobody wanted to touch those projects. Marvel is going out of their limb to do this. And yes, they're getting unknown stars because there are no stars to fill that role. That's why I'm thinking. So we want to knock Marvel for everything they do and shit on Marvel because it's cool to do that. But we got to look at what the good stuff they are doing. Yeah, he might not get a role anywhere else, but if it wasn't for Marvel, he wouldn't even have that role.
Yeah.
And
he killed it in that role.
And he killed it in that role. It's like somebody gave him a chance to do something. And he'll probably pop up in another movie doing. I think he's in Barbie. I think he's playing Asian Barbie, Asian Kim, some shit. I might have made it up. I don't know, but still.
This is a movie, not animated.
No, it's a real movie. It's a real movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. He gets to see his face. And for those who like all the, the film bros and the cinephiles that are like, yeah, fuck Marvel. Quentin Tarantino's right. Quentin Tarantino is a huge comic book fan.
Right.
He tried to make a Silver Surfer movie back in the 90s. No one knows this, but he was trying to make a Silver Surfer movie when no one wanted it. Back when when they were letting shitheads like Bryan Singer make X-Men movies.
Let him do it. So.
But he's made how many? Most of his movies make comic book references.
Right? Superman. He made the best Superman reference in any movie, even better than Superman movies.
Yeah, the Thing, motherfucker, looks just like the Thing. I was in Reservoir. This is in first movie, Reservoir Dogs.
Right?
He co-directed Sin City.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a comic book movie. Right.
Yeah. So he's always been a comic book fan. He's talking about the business side of the monopoly on the movie business. That's what he was talking about. He's not, saying Marvel sucks or whatever. He's just saying the way things are. It's running people like him. He's an old dinosaur. He knows this. That's what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was him saying, you know what? Times are changing. I'm an old dinosaur and I got to change with the times. My days as a movie maker are numbered. That's what he was saying with that movie.
I don't agree with any of that, but that's him. That's his opinion, But here's the thing. What I want to talk about, because Marvel didn't invent this business model for superheroes. Like, you take an unknown actor. Like I said, none of these Marvel actors are movie stars. I won't say none of them, but most of them aren't movie stars. Simu Liu is not a movie star, but they didn't invent this model. Superman the movie invented this model. They actually went either way because Robert Redford was in the lead to play Superman in this movie. And then why they didn't do that? Because they couldn't picture Robert Redford as Superman. You put Robert Redford in that suit, you're just going to see Robert Redford. So you pick an unknown dude like Christopher Reeves, and that's fine. But at the same time, everybody else in the movie is a big name actor. Marlon Brando was the biggest fucking thing in the 70s at the time. And the second biggest thing in the 70s was Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman was huge in the 70s. Chinatown, all this stuff like that. He was going to have like 2 Oscars on his belt before Superman even came out. So that was the business model. You pick an unknown actor so you can see them as a role. Yes, people barely knew who Chris Evans is, but that means you could just see him more as Captain America. And it hurts him in any other role, because in the role you just see him as not Captain America,
Yeah. Well,
but that's,
Yeah. And this, I don't want to shit on anybody, but the whole recast T'Challa.
That was my next thing.
That was like, yeah, that was y'all trying to kill a movie star.
Right, but that's the thing. Like I said,
literally die. I mean, this guy embodied the role, and y'all didn't give it's like almost y'all didn't give a shit. you know.
That's
And Marvel,
exactly what I was about to say. So it's
yeah,
like, but
yeah,
Marvel was honoring the movie star because I know a lot
yes,
of people, just like you, just get another guy. But Chadwick Boseman, in my opinion, was on his way to become a movie star. He killed all these roles: Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Thurgood Marshall. He had more roles on top of that. Also, he was killing all these roles even before he became Black Panther. So he was on, and once he became Black Panther, household name, he had movie roles lined up for him. It just he died before he can get to him. So he was on his way to becoming a movie star. And there are some people that don't want to see Black Panther 2 at all because he's not in it. Not because they didn't recast, not just because he's not in it. I asked my mom this Thanksgiving dinner, did she want to go see Black Panther 2? She was like, is Chadwick Boseman in it? No. Then no, I'm not seeing it. It's like, not because T'Challa's not in it, Chadwick Boseman's not in it. So
yeah,
he is selling that movie,
yeah.
So, and for people
My
that want to
my
do
sister never seen any of the Marvel movies.
right,
She don't they don't interest her and she don't care. Yeah, she's old school. Like I'm all about actors and Russell Crowe and I was like,
right.
Russell Crowe is in Love and Thunder for like 5 seconds, but
It was a paycheck. That doesn't count.
but yeah, she's not gonna go see Love and Thunder to watch for 5 seconds of Russell Crowe,
Right.
but yeah, that's what it felt like. It's like Black Panther was a role. Yeah, it was a character, but here was a guy who embodied that character. And then like they felt like they were shitting on him, like, no, he's just a character. We don't need it.
Just get somebody, yeah.
And that kind of what reinforces what Tarantino was saying, like
right. So it's funny that the same people saying the recast of T'Challa shit is mad at Quentin Tarantino for the shit he said when technically you agree with them.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't give a shit about Chadwick. You just want another Black Panther.
Right.
Black Panther's the star.
Just throw somebody in the suit. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't care who was in the suit. And that's what Tarantino was saying.
Right. Like the weekend that Chadwick Boseman died, they was already recasting. Put somebody in the suit. Like, damn,
what are we gonna do about Black Panther? Like, damn, he's not even cold yet.
He's not even cold yet. Like that. Let people mourn. Is that okay?
Yeah. And it was interesting. What are they gonna do? And Coogler said I had to rewrite the script because he had a whole other movie planned, and then they had to write a whole other movie because they were honoring him. They had to honor what happened. They had to honor the star.
That would have been. They just stuck somebody else in that role, and then that's what you had.
Yeah, like I said when we reviewed it, it could have been Denzel. It could have been the greatest actor, and we still would have compared them.
Right. So it's a losing battle no matter what you had. Right. Yeah. So now here's what, like I said, I agree with 92% of everything Quentin Tarantino said. Here's where the 8% comes in. He's saying that Marvel has no movie stars. I disagree with that. We just talked about Chadwick Boseman. Like I said, he was cut down before he got a chance to become that household name that he was on his way to being. But I'm sorry, Robert Downey Jr., movie star. I don't care. We can, I know film bros want to say anything to support the narrative that what Quentin Tarantino is saying. You can't put Robert Downey Jr. in it because let's take this back to 2008. Back in 2008, nobody gave a shit about Iron Man. Marvel literally tried to sell Iron Man, just like sold Spider-Man. They sold Fantastic Four. They sold X-Men. They sold the Hulk. They couldn't sell Iron Man because nobody wanted them. So even putting Robert Downey Jr.'s name attached to that movie gave eyes on that movie. And I know he had his drug shit and he was smoking crack and all stuff like that. Look, around that time, he was on the upswing. He had Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He had Zodiac. He had Tropic Thunder. He had all these movies that put his name back.
Don't mention Tropic Thunder. We're gonna get canceled.
I can say it. You can't say it. I can say it. So that's the thing. And like I said, he won 2. I mean, he was nominated for 2 Oscars before he even got with the MCU. So we got to remember that Marvel didn't make Robert Downey Jr. or Iron Man didn't make Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. made Iron Man. He made people give a fuck about Iron Man. They changed Iron Man's personality in the comic books because of him.
And he was pretty much the star of the MCU.
Right. He was the star of the MCU. Like we can say Marvel don't have movie stars. They paid Robert Downey Jr. $10 million just to show up at Spider-Man Homecoming. And he was only in the movie for 10 minutes. $1 million a minute. That's what Marvel's like.
Tony Stark going to be in the new movie. And he was,
That's what Marvel was like. We got to kill this guy. I mean, so that way we can get some cheaper actors in here. You know, after they killed them all, people stopped caring about. Exactly, people stopped caring about the movies. They don't have Robert Downey Jr. anymore because they don't have any stars. They have Simu Liu. That's what they have. You know, Anthony Mackie. I'm sorry, you can't build a universe on it. That's why people are upset about the Marvel because they don't have those characters or those stars to, you know, go see. Like I said, if you look at the track record of Marvel, every Marvel movie that Robert Downey Jr. is, like every $1 billion movie Marvel had, except for like 2, Robert Downey Jr. was in.
Yeah. And that was the old way. That was the old guard of doing things. The phase 1, they got big name directors and big name actors.
But they had to. They had to.
That's how they built their cinematic universe. They had to go the old style. Once they built it, once it became a success, okay, we built our factory. This is what we're going to do now.
Right. So we have our IP. We can sell it on the IP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So we can get the fat guy from Parks and Rec, you know, get him in the gym and make a movie surrounded by him, you know.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that in phase 1.
The Russo brothers and, you know.
Right. Community and shit like that. They can do that now, you know.
You know.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. So I like I said, nobody is well, some people are disagreeing, but overall, like I said, he had a point. And also I want to put, third one. Scarlett Johansson, movie star. I don't care. And no, Eli, I'm not thinking with my dick. I know what you're thinking. No, she is talented also. But my thing is,
she was Black Widow. I saw, what was that movie? Ghost. The first comic book movie she was ever in was Ghost World. And she was awesome in that. She was a good I've seen her in indie shit. Like The Horse Whisperer. When did that came? She was like 10 years old. Speaking of Robert Redford.
Right.
She was in that, and she was great. And she was a kid. I was like, and then like, oh, that's the chick from Horse Whisperer. Now she's ScarJo.
Right, now she's ScarJo. Yeah, that's the thing. But like I said, she was putting butts in the seats. 10 Things I Hate About You. She was in that. She was a hot chick in that. You know, it was other movies she was in, popping up left and right. Lucy made money. Lucy made like almost $500 million. The movie sucked.
I still never saw that.
It sucked, but it doesn't matter. She was in the movie, so people just went to see it. And like, I don't know what the fuck this movie is about. ScarJo was in it. I'll go watch it, you know. And that's the whole point. If you can put a movie star in to at least get people's attention of the movie, you know, you did something. No.
She was an Oscar winner before she was Captain Marvel.
I guess they just handed those things out. But
and she was in Scott Pilgrim, her first comic book movie.
That's true. Chris Evans was in it too, and he's not a movie star.
He was in. He was in what? Fantastic Four.
Right.
Was it the Losers? Isn't that like a
Loser was off, and that's a comic book movie. That's a DC comic.
Yeah, wasn't that
they were in Crisis?
Movie?
Yeah, they were in Crisis. So
yeah,
but
Snowpiercer. Yes. Well, that was after Cap, but still, Snowpiercer.
But still, nobody saw it. But yeah,
awesome flick. But yeah,
awesome flick, and it had a TV show based on it too. But yeah, that's the thing. So I mean, but what is a movie star? Like, who is a movie star? Like, is Will Ferrell a movie star? No,
not anymore.
People go see his movies. He puts butts in the seats. Yeah, Tell me you didn't see Ricky Bobby. You know,
not in the theater.
Oh, I didn't even not think about it, but still.
And I think that's the thing. Is like, it's weird coming out of COVID and where the people just want to get out. I think that's probably one of the things is people just want to get out of the house and they're going to see the movies. They're going out to see shit. So,
thank you, Fat T. The movie kind of sucked, but thank you for supporting
us in the house. You know, but yeah, I think people wanted to get it after being cooped up for 2 years and not being able to go out. I think they just want to go see movies, and that's why we're seeing Top Gun make $1 billion and Terrifier, you know, extend, you know, make $5 billion or $5 million off of 100,000 or whatever.
Halloween made money, and it came out on Universal Peacock at the same time, and it still made money.
Yeah, I mean, horror movies came back in a big way. A lot of horror made a lot of money.
Ryan Reynolds is a movie star now. He is now, because of Deadpool. Honestly, they was about to kick him out of Hollywood before Deadpool. That's why he leaked the shit. So
yeah, he was doing like the stupid like sex teen comedies and shit before.
Yeah, nobody cared about that shit, man. Now he's one of the biggest things of it.
Yeah, even when he made Green Lantern, that no one cared.
Right. He was married to ScarJo at the time, and they got divorced because that movie sucked.
Yeah, he was in that shitty Amityville remake. Sucked.
Why remake that movie?
Because they were remaking everything back in the
and that's the thing, Eli. I hate to say this. I feel like I'm getting canceled if I say this. I can do it. Is this a safe space? Okay, it's a safe
No.
space.
We're on YouTube. No, nothing safe.
So don't tell nobody else this. But I do feel like Hollywood like really, really push like pretty white dudes down our throats. That's what I feel like. Like they keep giving them chances over and over and over again.
They've always done that. That's
Like
always
it's like the machine just pumps them down. Like, and it's the point that I can't even tell them apart. Like, okay, you got Ryan Reynolds that pumped out, but what the other dude, Sam Worthington or some shit like that?
Oh yeah, where's he been?
Taylor Kitsch. Why does it keep shoving these dudes down our throats, man? I don't give a fuck about these dudes. But every time you turn around, they're in the movie.
You know,
I really feel like they're shoving Chris Pratt down our throat now at this point.
Well, yeah, they were. Agents of Shield.
Uh-oh. See, are you about to trigger me? Are you about to trigger me? Are you about to trigger me? Okay, let's go.
Agents of Shield. I remember watching the first episode of Agents of Shield and being curious, like, oh, this is the Marvel show, and it's going to connect to the movie. Supposedly, they said, you know, and you know, okay, Coulson's on there and shit. And we're seeing, we see a few characters get introduced. We see Coulson and what's her name? The English broad that I had the hots for. I can't remember her name.
Skits
Simmons
Scully.
or whatever. Simmons
Sully.
or whatever.
That's it,
yeah. But then they go to what's his name? The guy who turned out to be he turned out to be evil or whatever.
I can't stand him in a flick for.
He can't.
Oh, it just flicks in general. Okay, yeah.
But no, anyways, it was his scene, and like here comes the white boy kicking ass, and I'm like, oh, this guy's the star of the show.
Yep.
He's the guy I gotta pay attention to. But the thing is, I didn't like him.
Well, here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up because like I said, I'm the biggest Agents of Shield fan that you'll ever meet. So I did realize about
you're
that.
The only Agents of Shield.
Okay. Either way, the biggest fan everybody knows. So what they did is that they focus tested, like the first half of the season, they knew somebody's going to go bad. They didn't know who. And they were like, nobody likes the pretty white guy. Nobody likes him. So just make him the bad guy and be done with it. So when they made him the bad guy, he was actually pretty interesting. And he played a trope on this shit the whole time. He was like, yeah, I infiltrated them because I'm the pretty white guy. So I had sex with everybody on the plane because I can do that. And I was like, oh, this shit's interesting now. You hate him, but you like him now. But when they try to make him the star, I hated that guy. Yeah, I agree with you. He was the worst part of the show.
Yeah. And when his first introduction, I'm like, oh, here he is. Here's the cop.
and he didn't know that halfway through the season they were gonna make a bad guy. So he was playing it straight. He was thinking, I'm just playing it the way I'm supposed to be playing it, So he's one of the two, maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty much the only agent. Well, I'm in an Agents of Shield Facebook group, so there's at least 30 of us in there. So yeah.
The Ghost Rider season was pretty cool.
Ghost Rider season is pretty awesome, man. I mean, y'all got to give it credit on that. If you don't watch anything else.
But what they did with Deathlock, man.
They would get okay.
That was mad whack, son.
Yes,
that
okay.
Deathlock was mad.
I can't defend it. I'm trying to defend it. I can't defend it. I can't tuck my way out of this one, okay? Oh man. So yeah, let's go to what is it? That's all I gotta say. Like I said, everybody's getting the titties in a twist for what Quentin Tarantino said. But I think in this situation, I think he just stated the obvious, to be honest with you. I don't think he said anything controversial.
But hey, it gave people something to bitch about for a couple days.
Yeah, the internet's better to the throat again. Fuck Quentin Tarantino. Fuck Marvel.
Let me check my phone. What am I supposed to be mad at?
Maybe I need an alert or something, for that. So yeah. All right, can you move on to the next part of the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got? I think this. Let's try this. I hit it. Cool. All right, so yeah. So we're gonna talk about Marvel's Avengers, the game nobody plays except me. I do a lot of shit nobody else does.
I played the demo. Come on.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I stopped playing the game myself. But a reason I'm talking about it now because the Winter Soldier is coming. Winter is coming. And it's not a rumor. This is not maybe he may be coming. No, he's coming tomorrow. We're getting the Winter Soldier in the game tomorrow. If not today or tomorrow, the Winter Soldier is going to be in there. So I will finally dust off the game, pick it up. Now, I'll be honest with you. I know I talk about Marvel. What is this game? Avengers all the time. I haven't played this game in about a good 6 months. I'm gonna tell you why, because I picked the game up like once, like 3 months ago. And you know how when you go and play a game that you haven't played in like months, and you don't know what the fuck is going on, and you forgot the controls, and everybody just beating your ass like that, and you don't know where you are in the story, stuff like that. That's how Marvel Avengers was. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, fuck that. I cut that shit off and just play something else. So I gotta, I guess, figure this game out again. So hopefully this game will like walk me through, just pretend like I don't know what the hell's going on, you know.
Well,
And
I only play Streets of Rage, man. That's all. 2 buttons. 2 buttons.
That's it. I'm doing another playthrough with Arkham City with the Kevin Conroy Batman animated skin. Can you saw that? You know,
Kevin Costner.
Beating ass with. All right. So, last thing I'm gonna talk about. Oh, before we go there.
Hey, all these new Avengers characters are white. Sweet.
We got Black Panther. Took a white guy. I mean, took a black guy. So
yeah, they're white again. They're not going woke and broke.
Well, they got Lady Thor. So yeah.
Oh gosh. Shit.
Yeah. So people got pissed off about that. And she got the exact same moves as Thor. Like, this is the laziest shit ever, man. Like, why not just play with Thor? I'm gonna play with girl Thor. She do the same thing. So yeah. And they got girl Hawkeye. She's on the game too. Same moves as Hawkeye. So yeah.
Girl.
Okay. Let's talk about the future that everybody that I'm excited for. Okay. So this last Thanksgiving, this is what I did. My computer was at home in Jackson. I went to Vicksburg, which is about 45 minutes away in my mom's house, stuff like that. So I took my Apple TV device. That's all I took. And I hooked it up to my TV, and I streamed from my Apple TV device, which is in Vicksburg, to my computer that was in Jackson. And me and my brother was able to play all my video games that way. NBA 2K, played it all day. I had an Xbox controller. He had a PS4 controller. We Bluetoothed it to the Apple TV device. We were able to play it. So what I want to say and reiterate is cloud gaming is the future. It's the new wave. Everybody need to jump on it. So yeah. So
I got the series, the Xbox S or whatever.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you have Game Pass?
I do. You need it. That's the only way you can. You need it.
Yeah, you can. I got an Xbox and I have Game Pass, but I don't really care. But do you have Game Pass? Do you have Game Pass Ultimate?
I don't know. What I got, but I got to play. It's all online. I can play with friends and stream and all that shit. That shit you saw me with the Ninja Turtles. That's how. With
Ninja Turtles. Because I'm thinking that if you have Game Pass Ultimate, then you don't even need a console. You can just play it. Some TVs have it built into them, like some Samsung TVs have it built into it already. You do that, you don't even need a console.
I got a Roku TV.
I don't think it's on Roku. I don't think. It might be. I have to take a look and see. I don't know if it's on Roku. I got talking about Indy 5. No, I don't care.
Jones.
I don't know why they're making that shit. Yeah, thank you, Fat T. Thank you.
Oh, is that what I got? He knows. He knows.
He's bootlegging your shit. Of course he knows.
He comes over and sets up, do my settings and shit. I was like, man, I just want to play one.
Exactly. So you have all this power in your hand, Eli. So you can do cloud gaming with that since you have Ultimate. So that's
I can play whatever. Whatever's on Game Pass, I can play whatever, whenever.
Yeah. Oh, and I did a Steam haul also. So what did I get on Steam? I got Skyrim. I don't know what the fuck Skyrim is, but it was $9. So I'm like, I'll check it out.
I played it for a couple days, and
it's supposed to be the greatest game of all, man.
It was. I rode a wagon, and I was able to turn my head and look at things.
That's like when you cut the game on. I did that part.
And what else did I do? It's long. I fought some things. I found a sword. Then I found another sword. You got to upgrade shit. It's one of them long ass games that you're
not selling me on this game, Eli.
It's one of them long. It's one of the open world long ass games where you got to upgrade shit. You got to upgrade your rings. You upgrade, your butt plug. You upgrade everything. Do you want to trade in your shoes for these shoes that give you +2 mana? Blah blah blah. All that bullshit. And I'm like,
it's $10.
I ain't got time.
Yeah, I'm not a big RPG. I'm not either, Fat T. It's $10, and everybody says it's supposed to be like the greatest game of all time.
Yeah,
so it's like
if you're in like this shit like Fallout or those big open world games that
I hate all those games.
Take up all your life, all your time, which I don't have. I
bought Spider-Man.
You got to wait 2 weeks for it to be fun. When's this game gonna get fun?
No time for that. Then when it does get fun, all of a sudden now you're addicted to it and you can't put the game down and shit like that. You know? I know somebody that beat Skyrim. I didn't know you could beat the game. He like, yeah, I beat it. How the fuck you beat this game? Yeah. So whatever it is, he did it. So, yeah. Bought Spider-Man, and I also bought King of Fighters 15. Is that the newest one? Whatever the newest King of Fighters is, about that. So yeah, and I think that's all the games I bought. So you're gonna see me streaming new stuff on there. And if the sale's still going on, I might buy something else. I don't know. But what is? I heard of that. I don't know what that is, but I heard of that. Yeah. So I don't know. It's not a fighting game. I'm not into it. So all right. So we move on next part of the podcast. Like I said, it's Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books, and we can jump into it. Eli, I'm gonna let you go first. You have way more books than I do.
Do I?
You do. 4. Yeah. Like
That's
I said,
my limit. I'm on a budget. I can only do 4.
It's Christmas time, so I gotta cut back myself. So.
All right, I'll start off with Sergeant Rock.
I want to rock.
Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. Written by Bruce Campbell. Yes, Ash Williams himself wrote this comic. Sergeant Rock, the old school soldier from DC. He's in World War II. And he gets him and his boys. What are they called again? The
Easy Company.
Easy Company. Yes, his crew get on a special mission to go kill. Oh, he got King of Fighters.
Oh yeah. Come get this work, Fat T. Come get this work.
Oh yeah. So Sergeant Rock and his boys, Easy Company, they get a special assignment to go in and destroy a zombie factory in Germany. The Nazis are now using a super zombie serum formula and injecting it into dead soldiers, resurrecting their army, and, going to take over the world. And this is the 3rd issue. This is just more action. Sergeant Rock and the boys are, just basically on the mission, killing zombies. They get a bunch of new weapons. One weapon, I don't know if this is accurate, but they got a fully automatic 12-gauge machine gun.
Which I'm pretty sure didn't exist back then.
Which didn't exist back then, but I know it exists now, but it only has because it was on one of the Call of Duty games. I guess it was modeled after one of the new high-tech weapons that they have. So a fully automatic 12-gauge machine gun. And but it looks like a Tommy gun. So it's got a mag, a circular mag, a disc mag. So, but they got those. And, so they get a bunch of new weapons to go fight these zombies because these aren't like regular zombies. You can't just shoot them in the head. You gotta blow them apart for them to die. So that's all. This is just all action. They just go. They're trying to take over. They're trying to destroy the factory. Every different units are attacking different places of the factory and just blowing away zombies and shit. So it was just fun, stupid, campy, fun. 3 out of 5. I'm on it. I'm 3 issues in. I might as well finish it. So pretty cool.
How many issues are left?
I think 2. Is it 4? 2. Is it 3 out of 5? Maybe 2 more. So,
something like that. Okay.
Limited run. So.
Oh, I can't see what that is. I think the next book the first book I'm going to do, let's do X-Men. I haven't done X-Men like forever. And I honestly don't know what the hell is going on in this X-Men book. Honestly, the only way I even know what's going on in the X-Men book, I listen to This Week in Comics. They all going does is, the X-Minute. They call it the X-Minute, but they just talk nothing about but X-Men. And they talk about nothing about S and then Marvel. So the only way I know what's going on is with that. So basically what's going on is they're back in the vault. If you don't know what the vault is, it's something back in Hickman's run where they had to go with Darwin, Laura, Wolverine, and some other guy. Oh, Sync. And Sync also, because Sync can be a part of this story. And Laura died. Or did she? That's the thing. So this is actually a Forge-centric issue. It's all about him. It's all about him.
About this. I heard about this.
Yeah, it's been his issue.
I thought about reading it, but then I'm like, nah, fuck it.
Okay.
I have obligation, but I'm like, fuck it.
Because I got to force you to read Forge. But yeah, so like I said, this is a Forge-centric book, and we're just gonna jump into it and where it's gonna go from there. So I think I'll give you some more backstory, but we'll just jump into it from there. Anyway, we're at the treehouse, and we're back at Sync because Sync heard about the mission going to back to the vault, which he doesn't want to go back to because the last time he went to the vault, he got all kind of PTSD from it because he fell in love with Laura, and for 500 years his soulmate, and she died. Now he's trapped there. But then Jeans is like, you get down to the vault right now, and he like wastes no time, just runs to the vault, and boom, that's it. So meanwhile, at the store, and Forge is in the vault, and he's at Wolverine's where Laura's like cage were like that. He realized she's not dead. And he's like, oh shit, we screwed up. So, because it's a rule. You're not supposed to resurrect another mutant if that mutant is still alive. So now you got 2 Wolverines running around.
Yeah, what the fuck?
You're right, not supposed to do that. Meanwhile, he cloned Caliban as armor on him because Caliban has mutant power to like find other mutants, so that way he can find Darwin. But Caliban is like telling him, you need to go back and rescue Wolverine. You just can't leave her behind. He's like, no, I can't leave her behind. I got to rescue Darwin. She's not the mission. And he's just like, and he tries to cut Caliban off. He's like, I'm not listening to you. I'm the master. And then Caliban turns himself back on. Like, no, you need to go rescue Wolverine. And they had this back and forth going back. Meanwhile, he gets attacked by Serafina, one of the unhumans or post-humans or whatever the Vault calls himself. Not one punches Forge, knocks his ass out one punch. And right before he's a scientist, man. He's not a fighter,
He's a lover. He's not
right. So she pulls a knife out. She's about to just stab Forge and be done with that. But before she does it, Caliban starts talking. And Caliban just says, don't do this, Seraphine. I know who you are. We're here on a mission. We're here to rescue people. And they're having a nice conversation back and forth. She's like, okay, you know me. So, and she's like, hey, Forge's about to wake up. So when Forge wakes up, he does like a Wolverine because he got like Wolverine armor and shit. And he tried to stab her and shit. She's like, look, I like your armor better than I like you. You're an asshole, So she throws a blade at him. Boom, hits him in the heart. He's like, oh, shit. Her and Caliban start. He tries to run away from her, tells the heart, the suit goes in the med mode. And she's just there. Like, before he even get there, like, he ain't run away from it at all. She's just like, I'm going to ask you some questions, mutant. You answer correctly, you live. You lie to me, you die. And she was like, so why are you here? And he's just like, this is a rescue mission. She's like, good. Okay. So why did you come here to begin with? So why are you trying to rescue the people anyway? He's like, I want to see what happens. You're like, interesting. So she leaves and she's just like, well, why are you letting me live? And she's like, because I want to see what happens. So Forge pulls the blade out. He's trying to, heal up from the blade because the suit has some healing capabilities. Meanwhile, he gets stuck in the neck by some rods like that. And he wakes up, he passes out and wakes up. So he doesn't know whether or not he was having a dream in the vault, or this is the dream, or he's dreaming now. He doesn't know. But he wakes up, looks outside, and he sees Krakoa is the utopia he always wanted it to be. He was like, this is how I always pictured Krakoa to be. So he realized he's dreaming because this is his dream field. And that's when he sees Darwin. The person he's supposed to rescue the whole time is there. Waiting for him. He was like, I did this to you. I'm the one that stuck you in the neck, Forge. I'm going to have a conversation with you while you're knocked out. Because when you wake up, I can't have this conversation with you. So they go flying and they're just talking, and they see Big Crow, stuff like that. So he was like, okay, so where are you right now? And Darwin's like, a funny thing. So they tortured me for like 500 years because, time moves faster in the vault. And they destroyed my body, actually. But when they destroyed my body, they tried to upload my consciousness to find out who I am, but they don't know I overrode their system. So I'm in the vault system. My mind is in the system. I don't have a body anymore. My system there. He's like, well, that's cool. We can just get you out of here, and I can put you in a body when you take it back to control. He's like, no, you can, but you can't do that. I have to learn more about the vault. So you have to leave me here. My body's gone, but you got.
He's flying.
Yeah, it's a dream. It's a dream. So that really matters. Yeah. So
that would be cool if Forge could fly.
He's going outside. That would make him too OP. He already got too many powers as it is. So yeah. So basically Darwin's saying you got to leave me here, leave my body here, but you keep continuing to fight. But when it's time for me to, and plus my body was holding me back. But now that I'm just consciousness and pure code and AI, I can do more damage that way. So he was like, we'll meet again one day, brother. He was like, of course we will, Forge. And then Forge falls because Darwin was making a fly the whole time. So, you know what happens when you fall in a dream, you wake up. So he woke up and that's when he realizes that he needs to go rescue Wolverine. So he gets a body and they leave. Yeah. So that's when Sync shows up, and Sync's just like, what are y'all celebrating for? Like anything bad? He like, no, this is actually a good thing. We call here for a good thing. And when he gets there, he like turn around and boom, he sees Laura, Wolverine, the love of his life, his soulmate that he was with for 500 years, who he can't stop thinking about more than anything else. And he was trying to hook up with the current Wolverine, but she don't know who the hell he is. And so they just jump into, and he like, give us some time. And to wait no time, they just jump into each other's arm because they're in love and all stuff like that. And yeah, that's the book. Oh, and Forge talks to Caliban, tell him everything that happened. That's the book. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, it's a easy read story. Get in, get out. Just continuation of stuff Hickman did, but I guess. I don't know.
It was Forge.
Yeah. I know you hate Forge. Forge is not bad. He's okay. He's an interesting protagonist. Yeah, so.
All right. I guess I'll do. We're on Marvel. I guess I'll do Daredevil.
Cool. Now, why are you doing Daredevil? I'm just curious.
I'm just jumped on this new arc. Oops, wrong one. This new arc. This is the new Zdarsky arc.
Mm-hmm.
With the hand, or not the hand.
The fist.
The fist.
Okay. What's some shit he made up? Yeah.
Yeah. So Matt and Elektra are like, are they married? Is anybody married? Anyways, they're running the fist. They're basically the opposite of the hand. They're going to destroy the hand once and for all, and all that. They find out that the hand has figured out. They got a new book of the dead or whatever that they're able to resurrect people and with their memories intact. And they find out that Frank Castle is now leading. So this is that whole ninja.
Okay, so all this ties
into that,
that
all that shit that I haven't read any of that Ninja Punisher shit. So that's basically what's going on, and like we got to go take care of the hand before they start resurrecting an army. And Daredevil's like, well, I got us an army. So they end up going to this supervillain prison island. I forget what it's called.
The Raft.
It's not the Raft.
The Vault.
It might. Is it? It may. I don't know if it's that either.
The Vault sounds like that's the other big prison thing that they had.
And they basically, we're gonna go get all the villains that are in there. We're gonna go. Shit, come on, fucking. We're gonna go get the villains and free them, and they're gonna join the Fist with us. So that's what it is. It's a prison break. What is this? It is. Damn it. Okay, stop. I just want to Myrmidon. Myrmidon. That's what it is.
You got me. That must be some new Chip Zdarsky shit.
Myrmidon, a supervillain prison in the ocean.
Never heard of that one. Yeah, that's new shit there.
So they break into prison. They're gonna free all the prisoners, and Daredevil's gonna have them join the Hand. But then, what's his face, bro shows up.
U.S. agent John Walker.
That's his name.
Oh, I mean, the picture's right there. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, he shows up. John Walker shows up, and and then they start fighting. He's like, it was a cool exchange. I love that whole conversation. That whole part where he shows up. He's like, hey, John Walker, you led the Thunderbolts to the Fisk. You were leading a bunch of supervillains. Looks like you've sided with the fascists. So if I'll give you a chance to join me. You can join me, and I'll save you and all that shit. I don't need to be saved. I'm on the side. I've got God on my side. That's what John Walker said. I got God on my side. And it's like, well, that's not true, because if God was on your side, he wouldn't have sent the devil. And then he
that's a nice line.
Yeah, and then he kills the lights.
Chip Zdarsky knows how to make those clever memey one-liners. So
yeah, he kills the lights, and then he starts fighting, and it's cool. It's a cool little like how we see Daredevil vision, and he takes out everybody. Daredevil vision, and then he talks about how like my batons, they ricochet. They're hard to predict. because they're protons and they got a weird shape to them. They don't bounce like other things. But a disc is easy to predict. This fool is throwing a shield at me, and he catches the shield. He catches the U.S. agent shield and uses it to beat his ass. Beats his ass and then takes his shield. So they take off, but then we cut to the end. There's a surveillance camera. Like, damn, these Daredevil and Elektra just like showed up to this prison, broke everybody out. They're on camera and they don't even give a fuck. It's like they want us to know. And then it shows Cap and Tony like, yep, we got to go get him. And that's where it ends. Time to bring in Daredevil. So.
Okay. So it's kind of like a international, he's out of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Type story. Okay.
Yeah. Pretty cool. This was fun. 4 out of 5.
Okay. Cool. All right. Next book I'm going to do, maybe last. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We're going to do Action Comics number 1049. Now, apparently DC is like hyping the shit out of this book because it's the issue before 1050. It's supposed to say in 1050 is supposed to be where all the shit hit the fan. They're saying this is basically the book, The Calm Before the Storm. That's what they're saying, So we'll see how it goes. Basically, it left off with, Darkseid kids came to kidnap Superman's kids. And the book ended with everybody just getting a big ass fight, So let's just see where we go from there. Starts off with Metallo. Like I said, Lex Luthor gave him some equipment that'll let him build a new body, but he told him, if you build that body, you work for me now. And Metallo like, no, it's not true. So as soon as he puts his body together, he gets a hologram for Lex Luthor, like, oh, you put the body together. Okay, cool. I got a job for you. And that's when Metallo's like, no, I'm not working for you. He's like, no, you don't understand. If you don't work for me, you die. And Metallo's like, yeah, I know. That's what I expect. So Metallo's about to kill himself. He's like, look, I'd rather die than work for you again, Luthor. He was like, before you do that, did your sister visit you today? She's like, what the hell you do to my sister? Well, the thing was, her boyfriend and her co-worker end up dead today, and the gunshots are traced by a gun that has her fingerprints on it. You like, you bastard. You like, but here's the thing. Don't worry about your sister, because I made sure that she got put in a LexCorp funded prison. And depending on what I say, she might get a lawyer that understands her situation if you do what I say. So basically Metallo has no choice. He's got to work for Lex Luthor. He was like, you stand by, and I'll let you know when it's time to do some shit. Tomorrow, you fight Superman, and don't worry about it. When you fight Superman, I'm going to make sure y'all on the same level. Matter of fact, you're going to be above him. So it's not going to be like the fights had before. And then when we go to Superman fighting Darkseid's sons, and they're both going at him. And basically, Calabac is shooting at him. He was like, I can't fight Superman. All I found was some old ass dude that just weakened by the red sun. And he blasts Superman's in the face. Superman just takes his shit. He's like, give me this shit. Breaks his shit. And basically, Superman's just like, no, you heard wrong. I'm way stronger than what you thought I was last time. And blast everybody away. And Orion's like, oh, damn, so you are stronger. And he was like, look, here's the thing. I know you came here. Orion, I know you came here for two things. You came here to take my family, take a boy from my family, and you thought you came here for an easy fight. But I'm going to tell you two things. You're wrong on both of them. So Superman's just like, let's do this. And he was like, okay, let's go. So before we get the big fight, we fight Superman and Space Gods. We cut to some bullshit with Bibbo and Lois Lane rescuing, everybody else and shit like that. So they're rescuing people. Orion's getting the shit kicked out of them. And one of that kid they're looking for, his name is Othal, some shit like that. Anyway, he's not a Kryptonian, but he has superpowers and shit too. But the thing was, while he's doing that, Desaad sneaks up on the kid and tries to kidnap him, while Orion and Calabac get the shit kicked out of him by Superman. So Desaad's going to try to complete the mission by himself. But when he does that, that demon that's inside that boy cuts loose, knocks Desaad unconscious, and he's about to like destroy everything around him. So Superman stops fighting. Osal, that's the name, Osal. So Superman just talks him down. He was like, don't worry, control yourself. That demon that inside of you, you control him. He didn't control you. And the boy just calms down, So that's it. So they hug it out. And Orion just like, see, Superman, you see what's happened? This boy has too much power on him. And so the boy is coming with me no matter what. And Superman was like, well, you welcome to try, but you just realized that you're not taking the boy from me because I just kicked everybody's ass. Meanwhile, Bilbo was looking like he did some shit, like, yeah, you know. So Orion's just like, well, that's fine. I'm gonna leave, but I'm gonna get that demon out of that boy. And whether he lives the process or not after I do it, that's on you, Superman. So, and they go back to Apocalypse, and that's it, you know. So they cut to it. Superman goes to World, simple thing. He tells everybody in World, and World worships Superman. He's their religion. They call him the Unblooded Sword because he taught them how to beat the enemies without killing them. So that's why I call him the Unblooded Sword. And he basically tells them, the United Planets have found planets for all of you. Y'all going home. And if Mongol ever tries some bullshit again, just let him that you're Superman's people and he can't do shit with you. So he like burns his Superman signal in the ground and they leave. That's it. Yeah. So that's the end of the World story. That's done. This guy's out of here, you know. Moving on past that. Oh, and this weird baby wakes up. That may be a thing. I don't know. We're gonna come back to that. Maybe
baby Darkseid.
Not baby Darkseid. It's just a baby, a weird looking baby that just wakes up when everybody starts chanting. So obviously that's not good. And I think Lex Luthor talked to that baby also. Yeah. Meanwhile, talking about Lex Luthor. Oh, talking about Metallo. He's talking to this guard. This guard is like, hey, John. You're like, damn, why you gotta be here, Tony? I was hoping Victor would be the one to be here because I always liked you, Tony. You was my friend. You always come up my real name. Everybody else call me Metallo. But oh well, you gotta go. It kills Tony.
Who's the artist, man? This is dope.
I don't know who the artist is. He's been on this Superman book for a while.
Metallo's looking pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, like the way he just shadows and kills them off panels, shit like that. Yeah. And then Lex Luthor's like, okay, you done with the Hallmark card shit? Kill that guy and get the fuck up out of there.
He looks like a Terminator, like an endoskeleton Terminator.
Which was what Metallo always was. I wouldn't be surprised if they made Metallo because he made like right after the first Terminator movie. So yeah. So Lex Luthor recruited Metallo, and we find out that Manchester Black has been on Lex Luthor's payroll the entire time. That's how Lex Luthor knows so much shit about what happened in the War World. Because Superman recruited him, and Manchester Black told Lex Luthor everything about him, even about that weird ass baby too. He told about that too. So and Manchester Black like, I don't want anything to do with you, Lex Luthor. I'm out of it. I gave you information. You're done. And Lex Luthor like, no, you're not done. You're done when I say you're done. And he does the same shit and shocks him, knocks him unconscious. And he's just like, I got one more thing for you to do. And that's the book. Next issue, Project Blackout. So basically, the whole thing Lex Luthor been scheming for, the next issue all comes to head. So basically, Lex Luthor been scheming for like the last 5 issues. You know, in both this book and in the John Kent book, yeah. So that's it.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm pick up the next book. There's supposed to be like a huge book. Tom Taylor's supposed to be on it. That guy's supposed to be on it. It's supposed to be the book that's supposed to set the status quo for Superman going in next year. So,
oh shit,
it's supposed to be a big thing. So yeah. So
I will do Alien number 3. News of this new story arc. So this new story arc, a bunch of synthetics, you know,
it's prep time. Can I have prep time?
He's anti-Batman.
Right.
Yeah, so this new story arc, Aliens, there's a synthetics, the androids like Bishop and Ash. They call them the Steel Squad or whatever, or the Steel Team. They're a military faction of the androids that were used for war. And they're not humans, they're androids. They can go where no other humans can. So they get recruited to go find, there's a planet that was overrun by aliens and they had to nuke the planet to get rid of them. Turns out though, on another planet, there's a disease, that there's this terminal disease that's wiping out everybody. And they believe the cure for this virus is in the alien DNA. And they need an egg of the special species of alien that they were developing on this planet that they had to nuke. The problem is the planet is all full of radiation. They can't send humans down. So they get this android military, the Steel Team 6 or whatever, to go down and recover this alien egg. So they go down and, on this planet, they're counting aliens. They shoot. This is SU-3. They find out that there's humans living on this planet where they shouldn't be. Humans should not be alive on this planet because it's radiated. But here's a group of humans on there. They find them, and this is where it picks up. It turns out that they're survivors. That they were using. They actually used that egg to heal themselves, to cure themselves, and so now they're like the next breed in human evolution by, having this alien DNA within themselves, within their bodies. And the robots are like, okay, well, if you help us get another egg, which is in the hive, the alien hive, we'll rescue you. We'll bring you back. We'll get you off this planet. So they agree, okay, we'll take you to the hive. So that's what this is. It's them going to the hive. There's like acid rain that, they have to, there's all these storms and it's like acid rain, and the aliens don't like the acid rain. So they use the acid rain as cover to sneak themselves into the alien hive. Once they get in there, the humans lock the door and like close the gate. And they're like, yeah, you can't take that egg off this planet. We're not, if saving humanity means turning everybody into aliens, no, you're not doing that. So the humans like lock the androids inside the hive, and that's where it says to be continued. The alien or the android leader, the squad leader, like, damn humans, we can't trust them. And that's where, and then this is the last panel. There's a queen in there. So now they got to fight the hive and the queen. So it was okay. This was a lot of talk, a lot of exposition. This is basically the whole issue was them on the journey to the hive. And while they're traveling, it's the humans explaining what's going on the planet. So a lot of exposition, a little bit of a lull, but then it still had, packed a bit of a wallop at the end, little bits of action here and there, but it was mostly just an exposition dump, this issue. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I still like the story. I still think it's a pretty cool idea. This military squad of androids that are, going around shooting aliens. So it's like the second. It's like the Marine, the Space Marines. Only they're androids. So.
Nice. Okay. I'm not gonna do my next book. I was going to do it.
What was
that
it?
book
Batman?
would take me.
Batman Incorporated.
Did they come out?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, now I think about it, like, damn, I missed that. Okay. But now I was gonna do like Dark Crisis like 2 weeks ago. But that book has way too much going on, and I don't feel like explaining it right now. So yeah.
Okay.
I may do it like next week or sometime.
You got anything else?
Nah, that's it. That's all I got.
Oh, you're booked out?
I'm booked out. Yeah. That's
okay. Well, I'll get through this real quick. I only got one more since I got the image. I mean, I don't have to do it, but I got the image, so I might as well just
go for it. I got the image too, so yeah.
All right, Yoda #1. This is a new Yoda series, a new Star Wars book.
Yeah, if you didn't read this, Eli, I would have questioned your fandom.
I almost didn't. Like I said, I'm kind of like money's tight right now, and I'm like, do I need a 4th book? Do I need it? Should I get this? It's Yoda.
I mean, I thought this would have been your first book. You would have thought about the other books cutting. That's what I thought.
So I reluctantly got it, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. This is just Yoda, kind of like the Obi-Wan book, that Obi-Wan series that just came out recently, where he's just like remembering his past life or whatever. This is Yoda on Dagobah, just remembering shit, remembering a time. When what was important, and basically he remembers a time he had to go save this village from a bunch of outlaws, barbarians coming in to rape and pillage them. Kind of like a Western. He's the gunslinger going into the town that needs with the corrupt outlaws and shit, and he saves the town. Kind of like that. It's got like that type of vibe, that type of scenario. So he it's just him reflecting about and how there's like this village this planet, and they're getting invaded by these marauders. They're coming through and destroying their village, and they put out a call to Coruscant, like, yo, we need help. And the Jedi Council they hear it. They're like, yo, this planet, where the fuck is this planet? We never even heard of it. Oh, it's some backwater planet out in the outer rim. No one gives a fuck about it. I guess we'll send some folks and shit, just go check it out. But it's not like this is the Jedi Council. Basically saying, yeah, it's some shitty fucking planet no one cares about. I guess we can, But Yoda's like, no, I'm gonna go. And like, Yoda, you're like the illest Jedi ever. Why you go? You don't need to go to this shitty little
like overkill, right?
Yeah, this shithole fucking planet. Go help these people. You don't need. What do you're like the best Jedi. Your place is here. He's like, no, I'm going. Yoda's like, I go where the Force takes me. I will, or whatever. So he goes to this planet and fucking, and basically kicks the fucking kicks ass. Helps this village. Takes here's this cool shot of him, Force grabbing all their weapons, all the guns away, and then cutting them down and just Yoda kicking ass, And then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna stay here a while. I'm gonna stay here and make sure this village is safe. I'm not just gonna come and start a bunch of shit with these assholes and then leave y'all. I'm gonna stay, and as long as it takes to make this village safe, I will stay. That's how long I'm gonna be here for. And then he tells that to the council, like, yo, I'm gonna be here a while. They're like, why? What the fuck, Yoda? Why are you there? Why are you messing around with these assholes? These poor peasants. This is the Jedi Council. So I think that's what he's getting at. How he's the important that all life is sacred. All life is precious. We have to protect everybody, regardless of their class or their money or their status or race or whatever. Everybody needs protection, and that's why he's there. So it was pretty cool, and just seeing Yoda whoop ass is always fun. I always loved, I as much as I shit on the prequels, Attack of the Clones, as boring as that fucking movie is, it had Yoda whipping ass. It's the first time I got to see Yoda whipping ass.
But 30 seconds of that movie, it was good.
But out of that fucking out of all the prequels, I think that's the only time I jumped up in my seat and went, oh! And that's the only moment of the prequels where I literally lost my shit. Attack of the Clones. Yoda with a lightsaber. Well, yeah, this is pretty cool. And this was, I'm glad I did buy it because I almost didn't read this. So yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Fuck it, it's my book of the week. 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I was wondering when you're gonna read it. I was like, yeah, I would, because I was gonna get it myself, but I was like, Eli, get it.
Yeah, I was like, another Star Wars book, Yoda. He's remembering. It's gonna be like the Obi-Wan book where he was remembering shit. But then I read it, I was like, this is pretty cool. So yeah. Then seeing and then making a comment about the dogmatic view of the Jedi or whatever. Bringing up how the Jedi lost their way and that they were becoming corporate assholes in a way. Didn't want Yoda to go go to this planet which is beneath Yoda, and Yoda's like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm a Jedi.
So was this a one shot or
no? This is another issue coming.
This is continue. Okay, this is series.
There.
Okay.
Yeah, he's staying there. Like the last issue or the last panel was those barbarians looking through the binoculars going, oh, there's that little green bastard. We're burning to their village to the ground. And that's where it says to be continued. So it's still there. It isn't just like the Obi-Wan book was each issue had a small story, a different memory. Every issue was a different memory from Obi-Wan's life. This seems to be a one story, over a few issues. So I'm gonna check it out. It's fun. It was cool.
Cool.
And I ain't really reading. I'm not really reading any other Star Wars. I haven't really read. I was on the High Republic books. I was doing the Bounty Hunters books, but I dropped all that shit after that War of the Bounty Hunters thing and the whole
big crossover.
Kira, the Crimson Reign, and all. I haven't read any of that shit. Where Kira was gonna go assassinate Vader.
Right.
I'm not reading 12 issues of that to know what she's not gonna kill him.
Right.
So yeah, I haven't really read much Star Wars comics in a while. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, Yoda. So
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. Like I said, I don't know what's coming up next week. We'll find something to talk about. Like I said, we'll be in the middle of December by then, so we'll be acting in Christmas month. We'll go from there. Oh, About the time us to start doing our wrap ups.
Oh yeah, like the best of years.
The best of. Yeah, it's just starting to think about it. That's all. We're not going to do
Yeah.
it next week, but we're going to start thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.